Welcome back to Down the Track. And after a long, long time, the boss has returned to the show. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. I've been wanting to get my friend Ashish on the show, but he said I'll only come when we're in need. And now Indian cricket is in need, and he's here to talk about it. First of all, Ashish, what's up, bro? How are you doing?
Good, bro. How's it going?
Everything is good, man. A very surprising series, to be very honest with you. Both the Test series and One Day series for me, India were favorites. If you just looked at player for player, if you just looked at the way the Indian team is set up, a very professional unit over the last 2 3 years, and you expected them to win. They've won, even if they're going to lose the Test series, they've won One Day series in New Zealand, they've won in Australia, they've won in England. So this was a very surprising result. Your initial thoughts on this series?
Yeah, it's surprising because the Indian team they didn't take chances in the Test series, but when you see the one day squad, you say, okay, we are better than the South Africans. We were better in the Test series as well,
Yes.
uh, but 3-0 is not a very good score, and it's a complete
Full sweep.
whitewash. That's what we do to teams when they come to India, and now we're getting the taste. So there's a lot of problem with the squad, team selection, as well as the batting order, I would say.
No, 100%. I completely agree with that. I think, but the problem is, when you talk about squad selection, right? You still have the likes of Virat Kohli, you still have Bumrah, you still have Ashwin, you have what's his name, KL Rahul, Shikhar Dhawan, and you're coming up against a squad where there's no and there's no Rabada and there's no Nokia. I understand. India also beat Australia when they had a B kind of side in that fourth
Yeah.
test in the Gabba, right? But still, this Indian team, I think it's more than that. I think there's, of course, the outside politics which have affected the team. You can see that there's no energy there. There's a different kind of vibe, poor form. Whether it's also bio bubble pressure and fatigue, because they've been on the road the whole 2 years, and it's a different thing now. It's not just you go to countries and you can tour them, have fun as well, go for dinners. It's like you're in the hotel. It's a bubble. It looks like the last 6 months since Dubai, I was there and I saw them on the field, and now I'm watching them on the TV. Things are getting worse.
Yeah, because these guys have not got rest until unless they got injured. For example, Kohli got injured and then played the second test,
Yeah.
and otherwise they have a family problem. They have to go back and visit their family, like Ashwin went, and a lot of things happen. And IPL, World Cup, back to back, and then this series. So if the team is not performing or like they are going through like a rough patch, being in a bubble,
Hmm.
they should implement the like I think the rotation policy just like England did, just like South Africa did before the series. A guy like Bumrah should be rested, right? Bumrah, even Kohli, these guys should be rested and give the other guys a chance who've been with the team since so long, like Ishan Krishan, Rituraj Gaikwad. These guys are like with the team. They are traveling everywhere. And why don't you give your main guys rest before a good series? Like the next series, I think it's against Sri Lanka, and it's at a home series. So if they're gonna play in those series, why don't you give them exposure and let them play in the game against South Africa? Because you already lost the Test series and ODI, give them a chance.
Yeah.
But I have no clue what the board is doing, especially
But
after Virat announcing his retirement. So I was like, this is done, and the current captain not showing up. So that's also
I will get to that. I wanted to ask you. There's a lot of criticism. People are saying, "Ki bhai purane ko nikalo." Rahane and Pujara, get them out of the team and bring in the young blood and everything. In this one day series, you saw glimpses of that. You saw Shreyas Iyer, you saw Surya Kumar Yadav, you saw Venkatesh Iyer, right? But nothing changed. The result didn't change.
the result is not changing because these guys are put under pressure and they have to perform just to have their place in the team. So either they play for India or they play for the place in the team, because these guys are seasoned cricketers. And okay, if they're playing for India, like they can have a bad game or two, but these guys will be judged on the grounds that they have to replace for example, Rohit Sharma or like someone like Kohli. They have to replace these guys, and these guys are like 29, 31. These are not
Yeah.
at the level. So it's a lot of pressure on those guys as well. And talking about Ayer, not Shreyas, the other one, Venki. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So he had a decent run, a good run in the IPL last 6 games, and this guy gets a call up. Whereas guys like Surya Kumar Yadav was like constantly scoring runs, 600 runs,
Yeah.
500 runs, and after 5 seasons he gets to play. This guy gets 6 games and he's bagging the Indian cap. So it shows like we are focusing more on the immediate product, which is like not even ready to play the international cricket, as well as a guy like Rituraj Gaikwad, who's played so much IPL and scored runs, but he's not getting the chance to play. So what are we? What on what basis we are selecting these guys? I have no clue about it. And you don't select Yuzi Chahal for the World Cup when he was in form in IPL, and now you select him to play against South Africa. You said he's not in the mix. Now you bring him back in the mix. What's the point? World Cup is coming this year too, so you're gonna drop him again. What does it do the confidence of that guy?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's been inconsistency in selection. The way you're looking at selections as well. Like, Gaikwad. I honestly, like, I always felt that you shouldn't pick people on IPL performances. And Gaikwad has also performed in the domestic circuit. He's had an outstanding.
Yeah.
Was it Vijay Hazare and Syed Mushtaq Ali? He's played really well. So, like, overall, he's been great in all formats. So, of course, I think they should try him. And these are the series, like you said. A lot of people, when you saw Venkatesh Iyer in that playing for KKR, everyone said to pick him in the team for the World Cup. It doesn't work like that. Like you said, I think you made a very good point that you're replacing the likes of Rohit Sharma. You're replacing the likes of KL Rahul, Shikhar Dhawan. It doesn't happen like that. And I think even now, Gaikwad. I'll give you an explanation for why Gaikwad wasn't picked, whereas Venkatesh Iyer was picked. I think it's purely on the basis of availability. Huh?
You can bowl the sixth bowler.
Yeah, availability, right? Now India is in need of an all-rounder, right? There's
Yeah.
no Hardik Pandya there. Shardul Thakur is up and down. We don't know if he's a batsman. Sometimes we don't know if he's a bowler. So you need an all-rounder, right? So that slot is easily accessible. So that's why Venkatesh Iyer slots in. Now, where does Gaikwad play? Gaikwad is an opening batsman. Venkatesh Iyer is flexible, right? Gaikwad is an opening
He used to open, but he can play low on the order as
Yeah,
well.
Gaikwad is an opening batsman. Now you look at India's batting order. Are you going to take out Shikhar Dhawan? I don't think so. You're going to take out KL Rahul. He's the captain. You're going to take out Virat Kohli? I don't think so. Shreyas Iyer and Surya Kumar, like you said, have been performing. So there's no space. It's simple as that. Now the thing is, like, if you're what you should have done is you should have gone with Gaikwad and not taken Shikhar Dhawan with you in the squad if you wanted to go like that. But then you will come up with the question and say that why aren't you taking Dhawan after such a good IPL? So there's a problem of plenty, but I think what it is, it's more about when you select a squad, when you select everything, you have to have proper planning, you have to have proper preparation, and you have to have the right mindset also, right? You can't just go into any tour and just be there without any planning, without anything. You have to have proper preparation and you have to have proper plans. I think South Africa were the better team. We're forgetting that these guys, just because last 2-3 years they've been poor, they've come back. They have a lot of talent, and they've shown India that on these pitches we'll beat you. I think the test matches, the conditions were extremely difficult, but in one day in particular, these conditions suited India more. If you noticed, it was a bit dry, a bit training.
Yeah.
But South Africa played amazing cricket, and India were just not what's it called? They were not fresh enough. They weren't fresh enough. They weren't good enough. And you have to blame every individual. Every individual needs to be blamed. You saw today's game, right? Deepak Chahar, outstanding innings. You're relying on him to take you to the thing. But then when you have 10 of 18, again he makes a mistake. So you have to take that accountability as well. I understand. I'm a bowler. If I make 50. But I lose the game, you're my captain, you're going to get pissed. You're going to say, bro, finish the game off. It's simple things like this. I'm not saying that it's Deepak Chahar's fault he lost the game. He brought us back into the game. But every individual on this tour has to take accountability because the results are not there.
Yeah, and like it's not they have taken the wickets. It's just like we have given them the wickets. Look at the shot played by Pant, or only good ball was with Kohli.
I would ask about Rishabh Pant. Your thoughts on him, because one innings we say that he's irresponsible. Second innings he scores 100, then he scores 80, then he scores a shot like this. What are your thoughts on Pant? It's very confusing.
That's the whole package. Pant is like he can win you games single-handedly one day, and the other day when you need him to play like a sensible innings, like chase it down, he's just going to throw it away. I think it just he doesn't have the mindset to switch on and off at times. He has to develop himself like a player who can switch gears by will, just like how Rohit Sharma, Kohli, KL Rahul does. Like they build their innings and then they don't let it go, and in the end they just start to accelerate. So Pant, like he wanted to show his dominance and then gave away the wicket, but it was not required at that stage because you have Kohli standing next to you, and why you want to do that? Just take your time. Like it's I would say it's 180, 190 runs, and in today's cricket, 280 is not even a par score. Like 300 is a must to win a game. So if we are not able to score like 300, and it's not a difficult wicket to score because Deepak Chahar scored a 50. So it's up to the batsman. Even when Surya Kumar Yadav came in, he scored freely. He was like above 100 strike rate.
Yeah.
So it just they are taking pressure on themselves and they're just trying to like maneuver the ball around. Even Kohli's strike rate was less, but the wickets were falling when after Dhawan and he when Dhawan was playing. After Dhawan got out, he like everything slowed down.
This is the
So
second time in the series this has happened where Kohli and Dhawan have a partnership and then things fall apart straight after.
yeah, and first time we'll just give okay like it can happen, but the second time it happens, then something the problem is with the batsmen who are going in and playing. And there has to be a direct call from the management as well, like what are their plans regarding a person, like who's going into bat or like who's going to bowl. You pick up I feel like in the first game when you pick up Venkatesh Iyer, like, and your bowlers are getting smashed, and why don't you give over to the sixth guy? This is where KL Rahul should be on his feet. If Kohli didn't have that freedom to give ball to the sixth bowler because he didn't have any bowler, but in this series, you had a extra sixth bowler. Why didn't you bowl him? And he's a decent bowler. Like he'll pick you 1 or 2 wickets, but if he gets runs, then it's a learning curve for him. That's why he's playing. It's a learning curve for him. I feel. So it's a mixture, like a mixture of mixed mistakes done by the board, done by the players, especially the captains. Everyone is like should be accountable for the mistakes done by them.
Yeah, 100%. Vin is in the house. He's saying more sensible batting by lower order than middle order. Thakur not out first 2 games and Chahar 50 in the third. So basically saying the contribution is more from the bowlers than the batsmen when it comes to batting.
Yeah, so the bowlers will win you the game, but with the ball, not with the bat. Then that's the way forward, right?
Yeah,
So it's good that we have bowlers who can bat. It's good, but when the likes of Shami and other guys will come in, you won't see these guys playing because
but also what the problem is, the bowling I felt today was much better. I think Prasidh Krishna as well was decent.
yeah,
But the problem is the bowling this tour has looked out of shape also. I think, bowling fourth innings and a test match twice in a row, you should be winning those games. And then that game where South Africa put on the same score in the while what's it called,
Stadium,
batting first, or they
yeah,
defended twice.
twice,
So
yeah.
when India put that score batting first, they couldn't defend it and they lost. Not in the last over, they lost very comfortably by 7 wickets. So I think it was they completely outplayed and very shocking. Then should Bhuvi be backed after this series as well? I honestly don't think so. Like, I'm a big Bhuvneshwar Kumar fan. He can swing it both ways. He's an excellent new ball bowler, but he's lost his pace and he's just lost his rhythm. He I don't think they'll have to look at youngsters. Uh, but what surprises me actually, there is a pace bowling battery. What surprises me is, when they were talking about Pujara and Rahane,
Yeah.
should they be packed, right? And now everyone's saying they shouldn't be packed. But look at Shreyas Iyer, man. He can't play the short ball. You have Venkatesh Iyer. He doesn't have a clue, in the
Yeah.
international game. You have Surya Kumar Yadav, who has all that talent, but he cannot replicate that consistency on the international level that he does in the IPL. So, sometimes you might have to back players. I'm not talking Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I'm just talking about batsmen. It is a problem in Indian cricket now. You don't have players performing at that level consistently.
And it's a cruel side of cricket, I would say, because last year, if we see in December, Rahane and Pujara, like they won us the games in
Yeah.
Australia, and 1 year after, we are talking like, okay, then just like dump them. It's not that case because if you see, for example, if you see England team, who's there to play? Everyone's there. Like you have Butler, and apart from Root, no one's performing there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean they're gonna drop everyone from that side. They're gonna like back their team and they're gonna like field a good test 11. So we should do the same with our team because Pujara doesn't play T20 for us, doesn't play ODI for us. So and he's a good test match player. We all consider him the wall after Rahul Dravid, right? And he backed himself with every batsman has a lean patch, I would say.
Hmm.
But
But the problem is,
they're scoring like they scored in good series before, and we
yeah.
have to give a longer rope to them. It's not like judging on 1 or 2 series. Uh, they can be ups and downs. Kohli didn't have a century for like 2 years, right? But you're not
Yeah.
gonna drop him. Even these guys make 60, 70. Rahane made a 50 in the previous games. But no one talked about dropping Kohli because, right? It shows like we remember the stars, like the faces of the team, the actual faces, and we forget the workhorses, which is Pujara and Rahane. They are the
Yeah.
workhorses of the team. If these guys score, we're gonna touch 300. If these guys doesn't score, we're not gonna touch 250 as well. So
Hmm.
that's how it works.
Yeah. Also, I think it's come to a stage where nobody is performing, and I think the problem is there's also a politics being involved. The BCCI have not handled stuff that which should have been expected from them. The players as well have made mistakes. Now we can't sit here and we can't just blame Ganguly, Jay Shah and stuff. I mean, they are responsible. We have to blame them for certain things. Like, this has become a mess now, and I
Yeah.
don't think the players are focused. But you also have to blame the players. You have to see them on the pitch, and we can criticize them, right? We can't see what's happening behind closed doors, but I think it's a mix of it. You can clearly see that the players are not focused enough. The same team won in Australia, they won in England, and they've suffered over here, and nobody has performed. And you could tell that in the interviews, the post-match press conferences, the pre-match press conferences, they've had an effect on Virat Kohli. And when the captain is not happy, then the team is not happy. You're as good as your team, but you're also as good as your captain. It works both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one more thing, it's a joke which I just recall. Um, I feel KL Rahul is bringing Kings Punjab Kings luck with him, so he has a very bad luck in captaincy. The guy, even if he performs, he loses. Even if he doesn't perform, he loses. I have no clue what like he's a brilliant batsman. He's a brilliant leader, I would say, but like when it comes to result, he's not able to take those key decisions. I would say he
Yeah,
has to take
yeah.
these decisions when it comes to on the field.
I think KL Rahul, the thing is, everyone was talking about his body language and stuff. For me, it's not the body language. I just think that right now, tactically, it is missing, and he'll probably learn. I don't think he's experienced enough. Reading the game, I think Pant is a bit better in that sense. But that's not to say that, KL Rahul cannot be a good captain. You
Yeah,
can't just let one series define you. You have to come back. You have to see where you got it wrong. Of course, in the IPL also, he hasn't had the greatest of stints, like you said, as captain. The
yeah,
luck has not been with him. But there are instances you also remember against Sunrisers. I remember that day where they defended 120, and it was Rahul's bowling changes
bowling
won them
changes.
the game. I'm just giving you an example because these are, you have to look at positives as well. I honestly feel that Pant is a better reader of the game, so I think Pant should be backed. But right now, it just seems that whatever India is doing, it's just not working. Whether it's the backing youngsters, which they've done in this series, whether it's backing the experienced players, which they've done in the Test matches and the T20 World Cup, nothing is working. Vinay is just saying top order batting out, then middle order feels the pressure because the way the top order is batting is little slow. Once they get the start, they need to make the chase more comfortable. But the thing is, Vinay, also the middle order is not as experienced. We've seen slower starts. We've seen MS Dhoni come and play 50 dot balls, but then he finishes off the game. Right? It's also the experience of the middle order. Your Yuvraj, your Rainas, these guys used to come and capitalize. It's not like the likes India top order before Sehwag, Gambhir, and these guys. It's not always they got them off the flies. They used to get out early as well. The way Sehwag played, sometimes he used to be out first ball, right? As is the case in the 2011 World Cup. But you had Yuvraj there in the middle order. You had a Kohli. You had a Gambhir, Raina. These kind of players are missing in this Indian team, I feel.
yeah, and the guys who can bowl a bit. And these are the guys, like if we compare to 2011, so you had every player contributing, even if someone like in the final, for example, we lost when we lost Sachin, we were like, okay, it's done. But Dhoni coming up, using the balls, and then playing his innings. So these kind of like mentality is also required. Today was the same situation. It's not a World Cup, but still, it's like it's a dead rubber. But you have to. You're playing for India. You have to win every game. When a guy like Pant comes in, he doesn't have to do that. He has to just take in the pressure, play some dot balls, and just rotate the strike and get in the groove. Because we all know he can hit sixes. There's no doubt he can hit sixes anywhere, and with one-handed sixes he can hit. But it's not like he's mentally like he's mentally prepared to play that innings. But when it comes whether Pant should be in the team, he starts playing those knocks. So it's a total different mindset. So if we talk about a player who's making a place, he plays maturely. He's like giving everything. But when the player knows like he's next in contention to a captaincy, or the captain has gone, or like there's no pressure on him to be removed from the team, then you see like silly mistakes done. So even like Surya Kumar Yadav, he threw away, like Pant threw away the wicket. Like even Deepak Char, he threw the wicket. Like it was a moment when he can say, okay, I'm your bowling all rounder. Instead of Shardul, I can pick wickets in power play. I can score runs. You have to pick me after Bumrah and Shami if you're playing a third seamer. So, but he also threw it up like it's 10 required. He made the match. He has to finish it if you want to be the finisher of the team. So that's how it goes. Like small mistakes, and it can be like the players are not prepared, but like still you have, these are the series, these are the games you have to win. These are the games which will make you prepare for bigger games. So
Yeah.
I
No,
won't be surprised if
100%.
some of these guys are not playing in the World Cup this year. So it'll be the same guys coming back and playing, and till
Yeah.
the time we are like fours and these guys retire, and then new blood will come in.
Yeah, the thing is, honestly, Ashit, like you mentioned this in the beginning of the thing, it's like even if you get the new blood in, right? I think this is the time to blood them in. The Venkatesh Iyer, Gaikwad, this is the time to do it. Like now, you also have the Sri Lankan series coming up and everything. This is the time
Yeah.
to do it. But even then, right now, like because not everything is right on the outside, inside it's affecting the inside. Also, there has to be a smoother transition. You saw the transition from Tendulkar to Kohli as a batsman. You saw the transition from Dhoni to Kohli as a captain. That's the kind of transition which is more ideal. I mean, when you do have you saw also from Kumble to Dhoni, it was a stopgap. You got Kumble there as captain, but
Yeah.
there was a transition. This transition is missing right now because I think the seniors, their mind is gone. Virat Kohli looks like he's not like
The
he's
captain
too
is
strong.
not there. The
Huh?
transition, the
Yeah, the
transition
vice
has
captain
happened.
is
It
injured.
should be
You
A
have
to
a
C. It's going A to C straight up. Like what's going on?
the vice captain is injured,
Yeah.
right? He's not available. Your captain is right now going through a tough time with the board.
Yeah.
Your new captain looks like he's just woken up from his sleep.
It's
Like
too
honestly,
early
like
what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah, I like all these players, but I'm just telling you honestly, right? This is like then you have a bowling lineup that looks tired. So whoever you're trying, and also like right now whatever you're trying is not working, so they have to go back to the drawing board and they have to do something really honestly, because this is Indian cricket. This is you have at one time we used to sit, me, you, and our friends Vinay, Punter, all of them, we used to sit and say we could have three teams.
Yeah. And we won.
Remember?
We won with the third team in Australia. Remember, like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
left only.
But
I have
now
no
it's
clue
become
what
such a that's what I'm saying. So it has to be also politics and stuff which is also affecting them, but
happened.
at the same time they have to get back to the drawing board. They have to focus, because look, I know the bubble is extremely difficult and India play a lot of cricket. Then
Yeah.
you have to then the board has to take that decision that listen, this guy needs rest, this guy needs thing, and the players need to also have an open relationship where they can say, listen, I need a break. Ben Stokes took a break, right? There's no harm in saying that I need a mental break. There's no harm in saying that.
But
So
I think the problem is if someone asks for a break, other than like a guy like Rohit Sharma, Kohli, if these
yeah,
guys ask break, it's okay. They're gonna come back in the season.
yeah, then the player
Someone
will,
else
the,
asks
their
for break,
place will go.
yeah, there's a lot of talent. You will never come back. It might
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah, that I know, I completely understand that, but I think they have to come up with a system where like then you separate teams, you separate from white ball, red ball,
Yeah.
and you make it, because if you're getting affected like this and you're not being able to perform, then it's going to be bad for your cricket, right? You have other teams also in bubbles, you have other teams playing cricket as well, like so I don't know what it is, but India will have to do something fast. But yeah, your thoughts on the next step, what are they going to do, especially the captain. What's going to happen? Will Rohit Sharma captain all three formats? Who's going to be the test captain? Will Rohit Sharma be fit enough to captain the T20 and 2023 50 over World
That's
Cup?
that's a
We
doubt.
were joking about it, and you banter a lot about Rohit Sharma. But
Yeah.
honestly, now it's come to a point where it's true that when it comes to certain big series or any series, he's not consistently fit. And then
Yeah.
how do you keep that as a captain? I think he's an outstanding captain, mind you.
Yeah.
You have your opinions about him. I feel that Rohit Sharma is an outstanding captain, but if he's not fit, then what are you going to do?
Yeah. So that's the problem. Like you should have gone with Rohit Sharma as captain before like all this mess would have been done.
I like that you're
When
saying
he didn't go, where is he now? When you make him a captain, so I think
that.
he's going to take over all the three teams. He'll be the Test captain, T20, and the ODI. But I'm concerned with his fitness because if he plays one whole IPL season, this guy gets injured, and then he doesn't show up for the series against like Australia or something. One test match he won't play. Like he won't play the South African series. Like he's picking his series, but and the board is lenient because the board has to manage him as well.
Mm.
There has to be a player management. If not, then has to be a captain management because
The IPL is actually a double-edged sword, right? We see all this talent come out, right?
yeah,
With the IPL, I think that punt innings in the Gamma was kind of influenced by the IPL, like the way they went after the chase,
yeah,
India. I think that was kind of IPL mentality. So there's a positive to IPL, but now we're seeing the negative sides of it, where the players are looking fatigued, they're looking tired, they're looking like they're getting injured as well. International games, you had the IPL straight away, you had the World Cup, you look more fitter in the IPL than the World Cup. You're not
yeah.
looking alive on the field, whether it was in Dubai where the whole world was watching, whether it's in South Africa where there's no one in the stadium. I think there's been an issue with the IPL as well. I think it's a double-edged sword. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, IPL. I feel like guys like Tina Trajan was there, and then he played in the Aussie series, and then he got injured. We have to groom the players. There has to be a transition from IPL to the national squad. You can come to the national squad, but you have to be like fit enough to play against like a country like Australia. You're not playing against Chennai or someone else.
Mm.
Um, for me, still there's a point like Rohit Sharma has to focus on his fitness. He has to come back. He has to be the leader. He has to pick his deputy and like he has to groom that guy as well. He has to look after the team as a whole, and he has to manage how What is Virat Kohli's role in this team?
Mm.
Uh, we have seen Virat Kohli play under a lot of captains. We have seen him play under Dhoni, and we have to see now Virat Kohli how he plays under Rohit Sharma. Will he give Virat Kohli the freedom and let him play how he plays, or we'll see some changes coming to the batting order as well? But I think Virat Kohli should play at number 3 all the time, or even like I don't mind both of them opening in the T20. But then we have like a lot of openers in the T20, so that's a problem. We have 6 7 openers who are ready to play for India, so
Mm.
it's a good headache. But we have to find the perfect solution to come out of the problems. Otherwise, these I won't be surprised if Sri Lanka beats us in the ODI series. Test will be difficult, but in the ODIs or like T20s, I don't feel it's difficult for them
Yeah.
because they have good spinner. Hasaranga is good, so they have good batting as well. So it's a lot of problems, but they will as a professional they'll come back and I think they'll come back and they'll gonna win the series next time.
Yeah, I know. It's just disappointing because this was the final frontier. You want to do well in South Africa. Okay, even if you lost the one-day series, you don't get clean swept. And then the Test series, this was the time to show that this is the greatest Indian Test team. They've won in all conditions everywhere,
Yeah.
and they just could not do it. So that was very disappointing. Vinay Singh, I feel Dravid is not vocal and getting pressurized. Team selection and mentality shows on everyone. Aman Gill is saying for a year we should make Rohit Sharma Test captain and groom someone under him. I agree with that, but then you need Rohit Sharma to be fit in these kind of series, right? He couldn't play the Test series, he couldn't play the one-day series, so you need Rohit Sharma there. And like Ashish said, he'll have to focus on his fitness and try to be available because we all know, he's a very mature guy. He's has a good relationship as well. I think the stuff with Virat Kohli, I think that's over now. I think they're good friends. I saw them. They're not the best of friends probably outside the field, but on the field, I saw them have a very good relationship in terms of they discuss and stuff in the UAE. I saw them, so I
So
think it's okay there. But fitness is the problem. If he's not going to be fit, then thing. But Ashish, the last couple of questions before I let you go. Virat Kohli, uh, was he? Why did he leave Test captaincy? Was it because of performances, or was it because of politics, or was it because of mix?
I feel it's because of politics. Because as we know, Virat Kohli loves test. Like he's the one who changed the whole idea of Test cricket. I would say he's the one who bagged 5 bowlers. Earlier, we used to play with 2 spinners, 2 fast bowlers, and we used to just bank on our batting to win the Test match. But
Hmm.
this guy changed. He revolutionized the whole Indian Test team, and he didn't want to leave, but as you know, like there's some problems and how his resignation was handled in the media, all the talks. So if a player talks about his resignation and tells you the truth that okay, I was just reported 1.5 hours ago, so instead of covering it up, you're just throwing everything back at the current Test captain. you're saying that's a lie. He's a liar in front of the whole nation and the whole cricket fraternity. So that doesn't go well because it's all about it's about ego as well, because you've been the test captain for 7 years, and now this shit is happening, and the board is not backing you. And why would you want to lead a team in which you don't have a say? And in the end, if some mistakes are done, we lose another like ICC World Championship, we lose that, then the whole blame will be on Kohli, not the board, because he will be the one who will ask for players, but the board will say no, you're not getting this one. So so no point having going against the board and fighting your own like team for your own team. So he's like, I already retired from ODI and T20s. I retired from the RCB, so it's good. Like I retired from Test team as well. He wanted to win the South African series because that was the last fortress he wanted to conquer. But due to the politics, he just said like, okay, I did enough, and they want Rohit Sharma. They get Rohit Sharma, all three teams. So I think it's morely because of politics rather than anything else. He has a strong mindset. He can take criticism. He can back his team. He gives everything on the field. So off the field, he's like, I'm out. I just want to go home. Whatever you want to do it.
Yeah, interesting. The thing is, for me, like, it's a double-edged sword. I think right now, like, the way it was treated, like, he should have been treated better. There should have been a better communication. There's lack of communication. Ganguly come in saying that, Virat Kohli, we asked him to stay. He's saying, no, no one stayed. No one asked me to stay or anything. They were happy with the decision. I think right now, BCCI is handling it wrong. But I think 2-3 years ago, when Virat Kohli had extra power, then also, there was things going against other people. Like Anil Kumble, I think, he reached the Champions Trophy final and then he lost his job just because I think Kohli wanted Ravi Shastri. So I think politics and these things have been going on in Indian cricket. It goes from both ways right now. Unfortunately, probably Virat Kohli is on the wrong side of it. But at the end of the day, it's affecting Indian cricket. Whether it's Virat Kohli, who's the good guy, whether it's Ravi Shastri, the good guy, Rohit Sharma, the good guy right now, it doesn't matter because everyone is getting affected in a negative manner. And I think the pressure now on Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid is going to be immense. It's not that transition is not smooth either, right? Yeah. I've been very critical of Rahul Dravid, but at the same time, you have to be fair that he hasn't got that time. Ravi Shastri also lost a lot of series. Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri as a pair, they've done crazy for Indian cricket, but they've also lost a lot of series. They've lost World Cups and they've got 36 all out, but they're still backed, right? So yeah. I think Rahul Dravid still needs to be backed, but there's a lot of pressure on these guys. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I feel Rahul Dravid, like when he was the coach of under-19, we all wanted him to like be the coach of the national team. But it's a different ball game, right? It's totally different because under-19, you're not always under the scanner. Over here, every game your team plays, every comment passed on social media or anything happens on social media, like your team is going to get blamed and the coach is going to get blamed.
Yeah.
So as a coach, like it's just first series, you have to give him a long rope as well, because
you have to
give him a long rope. Then no point of changing.
Also, also he's not come and made radical changes, right? He's still stuck to that Virat Kohli type of formula, Ravi Shastri type formula. He's still backing those players which were played under these guys, under Ravi Shastri. So he's still with that formula, and he can't just come and put his imprint straight away, right? I think it'll come slowly. And the good thing is that he's worked with the likes of Shubman Gill, Prithvi Shaw, Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, which are the next generation. So I think that is a positive, and you might see the fruits of it, maybe not today, but you might see it after a year. So you have to back him for a while. If you've given Ravi Shastri such a long rope, you have to give Rahul Dravid as well. But of course, there are areas where he needs to improve. I think Vinay also mentioned that he needs to be a bit more vocal. We don't know exactly how vocal he is. We don't have access to the dressing room chats. But I think Rahul Dravid, someone who is mature, and right now he just knows that India's in a tough period. He's letting things flow a bit, and I guess the Sri Lanka series is a good time for him to try to change the squad a bit and have his imprint on it as well.
Yeah, like you have to back him. I would say. And I hope in Sri Lanka series, like we see most of our guys rested, and I don't want Rohit Sharma playing the Sri Lankan series if he's injured. Even if it's like 80% in, don't play, man. Don't play. Play IPL, whatever you want to play. Don't play the series with 80% fit. Oh, my nation needs me. No one needs you. We can play without you as well. But come back as a strong leader. Yeah,
You have to be
Kumba is a
fully
strong
fit.
leader. Kumba is a fully fit player who can contribute rather than playing 2 games and getting injured again. Because there's a
Yeah.
World Cup coming up, and it's in Australia. We do need guys like who can hit the ball long. Rohit Sharma is one of them. Rishabh Pant is one of them, and even Surya Kumar Yadav can hit the ball long. So Ishan Krishan, he should have got a chance in this series. I don't know why he didn't get it, but still, probably he's injured or something. I have no
Yeah,
clue.
it might be. It might be he's not fully fit, but uh,
And and
I
your guy Hardik Pandya is the captain now, eh? Here you have.
we're gonna do full IPL episodes now because the auction is coming up. So hopefully we will discuss all the possibilities Hardik
Yeah,
Pandya as captain. And I think this has not been a good audition for a lot of Indian players going to the auction. But South Africans will be making the bucks. Van der
very
Dusen and
much.
Quinton de Kock.
Yeah,
These guys will be making money at the auction because they've shown that these guys are nothing less. They can always compete, and they've really impressed me, to be honest. I feel they'll go for big bucks, some of these South African players, and why not, right? Rabada, uh,
Jansen, what's his name? Ngidi. Ngidi is
yeah,
50. I think it's 50 lakh base price for them. I was just reading an
yeah,
article. 1,200 players are registered,
yeah,
something like that. It's
yeah.
they're gonna make a lot of money. And I already know, like, I think Chennai Super Kings is gonna pick Ngidi up again. So
Yeah, so to be very honest with you, South Africans have given a better audition, so
yeah,
uh, they might go for big bucks than some of the Indian players. But then again, IPL is different. We'll, of course, we do criticize it, we do praise it, but at the end of the day, it's so big we cannot ignore it. So we will discuss the IPL. I think the
yeah,
auction will be something very fun to look forward to because it's something different. So we'll try to have the different possibilities according to the purses that the teams have available. We'll look at the possibilities. We'll try to guess where who will go where. We've already got a few guesses wrong. Me and you both thought that I thought Rashid will be in Sunrisers. You thought KL Rahul will be captaining Punjab. So we both got off to wrong predictions. But hopefully we'll do some more analysis and
I,
look forward to that. But this was a very important.
I say Warner will come to Punjab.
Yeah. But I think this is a very important episode because before we do get into that IPL and everything, it's very we love this team, we follow them, we love cricket. But when a team is not doing well, such as and a successful team like this, you have to criticize them. Of course, you can't get personal or anything like that. You have to criticize them with respect. I think we've done that. But uh, now it's about trying to get that team to do well, see where they can improve, and just have a discussion. At the end of the day, they're professional. We're not professional cricketers. We just analyze the game. We see what we just try to put a different view on it, right? Like, you have a different opinion, I have a different opinion. We discuss the game. We're passionate about the game. It's not like we can do what even if somebody gets out for one run, we might not even score that one run playing for India, right? We don't have that ability, but we love the game, so we do discuss it. And sometimes an outside view is good, right? Like sometimes an outside view is good. So hope you guys enjoyed that view of ours. And Ashish, any last thoughts?
No, I'm just switched off from the series now. It's hard. You wake up at 3, like you don't sleep till 3, and you see the game's going on. It's still 12. It's a hard timing, but like as you said, we have a passion for cricket, and we just want our team to win every time they go on the field.
Yeah.
So I feel Indian cricket will improve from here, and we have been through bad times when we lose in World Cups and some sort of that. But it's always this team backs up, and the guys, they show like why we follow them, why we cheer for them every time. So I
Yeah.
next
The
series and probably the World Cup this time.
That's a
Uh,
very good point because this time last year we were celebrating Indian cricket when they won at the Gabba. So, like, it's the same players who give us that love. So, we still have to respect them. But of course, criticism will always be there. Praise will also be there. We just have to be more balanced. And yeah, let's see how it goes. But now I think all eyes on the auction until then, and then the Sri Lanka series. Plenty of cricket to look forward to. Under 19 World Cup, we'll get you the latest from there. Some exciting young talent. I'm enjoying it. Ashish is waiting for the knockout games, but I've really enjoyed it so far. And yeah, I think there's some other international games. We have the England West Indies going on right now,
yeah.
but plenty of cricket to look forward to, Ashish. So I will catch you.
Catch you up soon. Take care.
Man.